Yes, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin. In today's video, I want to talk about the Bitcoin price into October, the latest news regarding the SEC versus Ripple, what you need to know as an XRP holder, as well as take a look at the Quant price, whale manipulation, and all. So, like always, check the timestamps down below, find the news that's best for you, and let's jump in now that we're entering Q4 of 2022 by taking a look at Bitcoin. Historically, Q4 has been Bitcoin's best performance by far, with an average quarterly return of over 103%. October and November have been its best performing individual months, with average returns of 24% and 58%. Does seasonality matter? Let's see. So, on average, Q4 has historically been a great time to bet on Bitcoin. It will be interesting to see if historical trends outweigh the macro environment. And yes, I agree. In many ways, this time is much different than other Q4s in the past. We're seeing unprecedented inflation, we're seeing unprecedented macro uncertainty. So today, let's dig a little deeper in what to expect with BTC. For example, not focusing on price, but just looking at the fundamentals, Bitcoin's hash rate has reached a new all-time high, meaning that the security of the Bitcoin network is stronger than ever. So this is what's known as a divergence. While price trends lower, fundamentals trend higher. And for me personally, you always want to bet, usually, on the strong fundamentals. Now, having said that, please be wary of the liquidations and open interest right now building up with Bitcoin. Similar to the move a few days ago, a lot of long liquidity building up here. BTC open interest up over $250 million in just the last 2 hours. If you're leverage longing this, proceed with caution. Here is that chart representing liquidation levels for shorts and longs. And what this means to you as an average investor, just expect potential volatility in this market if liquidations should happen. Right now, we see total short liquidations 44, total long liquidations 103. So let's not be surprised if we see some explosive volatility in either direction, liquidating all this leverage trading. Playing with leverage during bear markets is a recipe for disaster. And playing leverage longs during bearish trends is even worse. I always try and remember that leverage is part of nearly every recipe for trading disaster. Of course, if you're a professional, you can handle it, but for the average retail investor, just be wary. And next up, just have to like the video real quick. Final thing I want to share with you before we get to Quant and XRP. Okay, final thing is taking a look at Bitcoin's realized price. Looking at 2014 compared to 2018 compared to today in 2022. And just to define realized price, they define it as the average purchase price of all Bitcoins. Some people would say a more accurate way to determine the value of the network. But if that doesn't make sense, looking at, we can see right here, Bitcoin's actual price versus realized price. Actual price is around 19,000. Realized price is higher, which is rare in Bitcoin terms. But let's first just really get a good definition on what realized price is. Stick with me, this is sort of technical, but Bitcoin's realized price is the value of all Bitcoins at the price they were bought, divided by the number of Bitcoins in circulation. This gives us the average cost basis at which all Bitcoins were purchased. So unlike the market price, the actual price we know today, which tells us the price of BTC right now, realized price tells us the average purchase price of all Bitcoins in circulation. And let me give you a sort of example on that. Realized price values each UTXO not by its current value, but by the value when they last moved from one wallet to another. So let's not be bogged down by what UTXO is today, although I'll link this down below for you to do your own research. But with realized price, it's really the last time they moved from one wallet to another. So we are assuming that movement from one wallet to another wallet is Bitcoins being bought. Right? So why would you transfer Bitcoin unless it was for some sort of exchange? And if we look throughout history, this yellow line is realized price. Realized price has always sort of acted as a base for a more accurate representation of the value of the network. So back in 2017, while the actual price went to almost $20,000, realized price was just around $4,000, $5,000 at the time. Then back in the COVID crash of 2020, Bitcoin's actual price dipped right down to the realized price of the network, and then of course immediately shot back up. And that seems to be where we are right now, with actual price below the realized price of the network. So what does this mean to you as an investor? And by the way, it is very possible for realized price to dip much lower than actual price. Everything is possible in Bitcoin. But to use this, let's look at historically what Bitcoin has done in bear markets in the past. So here is that chart of Bitcoin's actual price and how many days it stayed below the realized price. Looking at 2014, we can see Bitcoin's actual price was below the realized price for 69 days, then a whole nother 121 days, then a whole nother 84 days. So actually very common in bear markets. Yet fast forward to 2018, Bitcoin's actual price only stayed below realized price for 133 consecutive days. Then, of course, it was up only from there until the next bear market. And then, of course, looking to today, 2022, we spent 35 days below, then we bumped up, then 22 days below, briefly bumped up, and now we're 18 days below again. So now having said all that, what does that mean to you and me? Well, looking historically, when actual price dipped below realized price of the network, not a bad time to start dollar cost averaging in. We will go deeper on realized price and check back in on this metric in a future video. And now that we have a little bit better understanding of Bitcoin's price into October, let's take a look at specific altcoins. Because Quant is up 50% since September 7th. Why is Quant pumping? First off, what is Quant? Well, Quant Network is a plug-and-play solution that connects different blockchains and enterprise softwares without the need for new infrastructure. I believe Quant is also one of those tokens that are ISO 222 compliant, meaning these tokens are an open global standard for financial information. It provides consistent, rich, and structured data that can be used for every kind of financial business transaction, basically deemed valuable in some sense by the traditional status quo institutions. So that's Quant in a nutshell. But to understand who's buying and the manipulation going on, take a look at some of this data. Quant, the interoperability protocol, is on a run these last few weeks, up 50% since September 7th. It has broken resistance on a nicely growing on-chain activity, active addresses. So this is good. It's nice to see when price lines up with fundamentals. And if active addresses are growing and price is growing, that makes sense. That's bullish. Also, both trading volume, social volume, and network growth are also supporting this run. No divergence with price. And these charts, like right here, back it up. We can see trading volume, social volume, and network growth all showing fundamental bullish behavior as well. So all in all, this makes sense. This is why Quant is pumping. But what you need to know is this. Most other channels won't share this with you, but I will. This channel will. Looking at who's buying and then who's selling, if we look at holder distribution, we might notice that retail holders seem to be the ones buying Quant, while a larger group of holders, Quant millionaires, the whales, holding from up to $1 million worth of Quant and up, are doing the opposite. They're offloading, meaning that retail investors, average people like you, like me, well, actually not me, I do not hold any Quant, but average people are buying the whale's bags. You are the whale's exit liquidity in a sense if you're buying Quant right now. Yet, does that make the whales quote unquote smart money? Because as we just looked at, fundamental growth of the network is actually bullish. So this is actually a strong uptrend, a bullish, strong uptrend for Quant. So if smart money, if you consider whales smart money, if smart money are exiting on a strong uptrend, then it's probably either not that smart of money or not that strong of uptrend. Interesting metrics to consider when investing. And next up, there's a bombshell of an update that just came out for Ripple. The judge orders the SEC to turn over the Hinman documents over to Ripple Labs after months of dispute. So this is a major win for Ripple. Ripple Labs scored a victory in its continuing legal battle with the United States SEC on September 29th, as the U.S. District Court Judge Torres ruled to release the documents written by former SEC Director William Hinman, and why these documents are significant. The documents predominantly related to a speech Hinman delivered at the Yahoo Finance All Market Summit back in June 2018. Hinman stated in his speech that Ether was not a security. Here is a clip from that speech of the former SEC director calling ETH not a security. Here it is.
So when I look at Bitcoin today, I don't see a central third party whose efforts are a key factor in determining the success of that enterprise. The network on which Bitcoin functions is operational, appears to have been decentralized for some time, perhaps from inception. Applying the disclosure regime of the federal securities laws to the offer and resale of Bitcoin would seem to add little value. Moreover, putting aside the fundraising that accompanied the creation of Ether, based on my understanding of the present state of Ether, the Ethereum network, its decentralized structure, we believe current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions.
So that was the clip. Give me your thoughts on this down below. But now, with this new update, the Hinman documents are in play. The SEC tried to block them. Ripple won this small victory. And now the documents can officially be used as evidence. That's the video. My name's Austin. Like always, see you tomorrow.